Cassian Andor lives before the Battle of Yavin in the year BBY 5, but he doesn't know that, because the pivotal Star Wars event this system of time is based on is still years away. Time is a fleeting concept, one that becomes even more amorphous when considering how it might function across an entire galaxy. According to NASA, our Milky Way galaxy is thought to contain somewhere between 100 to 400 billion stars and measures 100,000 light-years in length. This means that if you were so inclined to travel from one edge of our galaxy to another, it would take 100,000 years of traveling at the speed of light to reach the other side. Needless to say, the vastness of space can be something of a daunting prospect regarding the conventions of time. Andor is Disney's latest romp through its flagship Star Wars universe, chronicling how Cassian Andor becomes the die-hard rebel leader featured in Star Wars Rogue One. Time-wise, Andor is a prequel television series that takes place before the original Star Wars trilogy but after the Star Wars prequel trilogy, placing its story smack dab in the midst of a fermenting rebellion. More specifically, the very first moments of Andor see Cassian walking into a city on Morlana 1, and the show mentions that this is taking place during BBY 5. Obviously, that denotes a year. However, what exactly does BBY 5 mean? In the real world, our calendar categorizes years as either the secular BCE and CE, referring to the Common Era, or BC or AD, which is a system heavily influenced by Christianity. BC stands for before Christ, while AD is Latin for Anno Domini, which translates to in the year of the Lord. So what does BBY mean in Star Wars? Could it mean before Baby Yoda, for example? Unfortunately, no, Grogu is not part of the Star Wars dating system. However, BBY does reference an incredibly historic moment in the Star Wars universe, the Battle of Yavin. For the non-hardcore Star Wars fans, Yavin 4 is the moon that hosts the secretive base of the Rebel Alliance in the first Star Wars movie. The Battle of Yavin refers to the skirmish that results in the destruction of the first Death Star.
Lock air spoils in attack position.
This means that Andor takes place 5 years before this momentous event. This is a victory that Cassian Andor is partially responsible for. In Rogue One, he aids in the theft of the original Death Star plans. By stealing these plans, Cassian and the rest of his team provide the Rebel Alliance with the means to destroy the Death Star, which otherwise would have become yet another symbol of Imperial oppression. From that point on, years in the Star Wars universe are denoted as before the Battle of Yavin, aka BBY, or after the Battle of Yavin, aka ABY. Cassian Andor and the rest of the characters featured throughout Andor, of course, do not know they exist in the year BBY 5, given that the Battle of Yavin has yet to occur. According to books like 2015's Star Wars Absolutely Everything You Need to Know, galactic authorities at one point considered Year Zero to be the end of the Old Republic era featured in, for example, the acclaimed Star Wars video game Knights of the Old Republic. An interesting note is that the way time passes on what was once the galactic capital Coruscant is akin to how time passes on Earth, meaning that a standard year in the Star Wars universe similarly consists of 365 days of 24 hours. The Old Republic era, meanwhile, ends at around BBY 1000. So if Cassian indeed uses the system that considers the end of the Old Republic as Year Zero during the events of Andor, he likely understands himself to exist somewhere around the year 995. Sometime after the Battle of Yavin, the BBY-ABY system is introduced to the galaxy, eventually granting its inhabitants the same timekeeping device frequently shown to viewers.